So the Galaxy Tab A9 Plus, in my opinion, it is one of the most underrated tablets you could buy right now. So if you look at this tablet, you might be wondering, should you buy the model with 4 gigabytes of RAM, or should you buy the upgraded model that has more storage and the model that has 8 gigs of RAM? Let's get right into it and let's talk about the Galaxy Tab A9 Plus. So the Tab A9 Plus, it's great. And this year they have a Snapdragon 695 processor in it. And if you compare this to the Tab A8, which was last year's model of this similar tablet, I know it's weird that they had a plus in the name this year. I don't know why, but they decided to put a plus there. Either way, it's just shocking how much better it is than last year's model. But that extra RAM might be something to consider. Whenever I had the 4 gigabyte of RAM model, I tried it and it was great. I was really blazing through my basic stuff with no issue. But whenever I added some extra apps to the mix, whenever I had 4 or 5, or I started to get up to 6 or 7 different things open at the same time, things would start to slow down a little bit. And the reason why is because every time you open an app, it gets stored in your memory. So if you go back to an app, let's say you're going from app to app, it is going to try to bring you to the same place you were before. And that takes some extra space. It's like if you're minimizing something on your computer. It's going to minimize, but to go to that same exact spot that you were at before, it means it has to run in the background. But if you exit out of it, well, then you're freed up to do other things. So you want as many things minimized as possible so that you could quickly go back and forth between the things that you're doing. Well, to do that, you need more RAM. And that's really where that extra RAM came into play for me. Whenever I had 5, 6, 7, 8 things open on the 8 gigabyte of RAM model, it actually handled it a lot better. And things just seem to feel a little smoother. And I can't tell if that's just a weird placebo effect or something, or if it's actually the case. But whenever I did use the 8 gigabytes of RAM, it was feeling a little bit speedier as I was going through my daily stuff, but it felt definitely better whenever I had extra things open. So I just wanted to make a simple video. It's not something super complex. I just wanted to give you my honest experiences and my take as far as which one you should get. So both of these are going to be fast. And in my opinion, both of them will be faster than the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite from 2020 or from 2022. Both of them will be faster than the Galaxy Tab A7 Lite, the Galaxy Tab A7, or the Galaxy Tab A8. So you're getting a really nice improvement here, even over the S6 Lite, which honestly did shock me a little bit. So that extra RAM, it's really for those people who want to do a lot of things at the same time. If you don't mind an app reloading here or there, I think the 4 gigabytes of RAM will do just fine. My daughter was using this tablet and she was having no problems with 4 gigs of RAM. It was doing great. Every once in a while she would have to wait to reload an app. But your average person, if you think about it, you might actually open up something on the web browser. Maybe you open up a separate app. But a lot of times you're not doing 3, 4, 5, 6 things at the same time. Most of the time you want to watch YouTube, you just open YouTube, you watch it, and you might open up one extra thing in the background, right? But you're normally not going between 3, 4, 5, 6 things. But if you are someone who does go between apps very quickly, if you are someone who has a lot of different applications that you want running in the background, that's where you're going to want that extra RAM. The extra RAM will also come into play if you are a gamer. The more RAM you have for gaming, the smoother games are going to run. Of course, you need some power behind those games, and I understand the Tab A9 Plus, it's not the gaming powerhouse that you're going to find in some other tablets, but it's still going to be able to play some games on lower settings, and that extra RAM will help things be a little bit smoother. So get the 4 gigabyte of RAM version if you're okay with a little bit less storage, and if you're okay with going 1 or 2 or 3 things at a time. But if you are someone who wants to do more than that, if you're someone who wants to do some video editing on it, even some light video editing, if you're someone who wants to do some gaming, or if you're someone who wants to go back and forth between apps, or maybe you're just someone who saw a really good sale and you just want that extra little boost of performance, I think the 8 gigabyte of RAM model will be good for that. But don't feel bad if you got the model with 4 gigs of RAM. I think that's going to be more than enough for almost anyone who buys this tablet anyway. But I will say it was really nice to get that extra boost of RAM. A lot of times on higher end tablets, the RAM isn't worth it. 8 gigabytes of RAM is more than good enough for almost everyone. So whether it's the Tab S9 or the Tab S8 or the Tab S7, it doesn't really matter what tablet you had. 8 gigabytes of RAM has been more than enough for a long time, and I think it still is even today. But if you look at people who want to go up to 12 or 16 or 30 gigs of RAM in their tablet, I just don't think that's going to make a big difference compared to this. If you're going from 4 gigs to 8 gigs, that is actually a pretty nice jump. And if you're someone out there who's thinking about making that jump, I don't think it's a bad jump to make if you can afford it. But if you can't, or if you value that $50 a lot, or if you only stick to a couple things at a time, if you don't mind 64 gigabytes of storage, the 4 gigabyte of RAM model will do just fine. But 8 gigabytes of RAM, it does add a little bit of future proofing to your tablet, and it does help a little bit with gaming or some other things. So I think it really depends on who you are, and you have to make your own decision. Are you someone who does those things, just a few minor things, or are you someone who really pushes your tablet a little bit to its limit? If that's you, we'll get the 8 gig of RAM, especially with all the sales going on. Check those links in the description. And if you are someone who doesn't do much, well, most people out there, especially today when money is so tight, you should probably save some money if you're not going to use that extra RAM. So hopefully this video has helped you to make a decision, because honestly, the Tab A9 Plus is amazing, and I just wanted to help guide you through that process. So hopefully you liked this video. Feel free to leave a comment, give me a like on this video. A sub would mean a lot to my channel, by the way. And another thing you can do is check out those links in the description. That is a great way to support my channel. It's also a great way to check out those sales. And if you get a little bit of time, by the way, check out some other videos. I already reviewed the Tab A9 Plus, and I will be reviewing a lot of extra stuff soon. So have a great day, enjoy your week, and enjoy your Tab A9 Plus.